The old man built. The old man built. The old man built. The old man built. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put them in the red. Where conscious and spirituality been stricken from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Spheres of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition, as I'm forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to instead. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Nathan, otherwise known as Old Man Bills. Guys, been a strange day today. Dropped my camera, busted my lens, got my Bedini going, then I fried a bunch of stuff, then got it going again, fried a bunch of stuff, bent out my lens to get it to work again, and, well, so that's a positive. It's been up and down all day, guys, up and down. Trying to get this Bedini done, and I realize now what was being said when Bedini said this, guys. When he said start with a 100 ohm resistor and then change it to get it dialed in, I've been burning resistors, and it's not been fun. So I had a 150 ohm resistor in there, burned it. Put a 100 ohm resistor in there, thinking go that way, burned it. Moved some things around, thought it was just getting too much heat. No, it wasn't. I had the circuit right, so wasted a bunch of time there, but I guess it was in diagnosing what was going on. Then I said, okay, so now I got a 100 ohm resistor in there. Let's throw resistance on it on the other side, you know what I mean, coming in through the trigger. Maybe I could just slow it down a little bit, and that'll do it. So I started adding more and more resistance to it. And what I found was my resistors stopped burning up. My amount of energy went down a little bit, and I had the light come on. So what it basically means is when he says put a 1K potentiometer on it, it means put a 1K potentiometer on it. Because as I'm adding resistance to the one side, it's basically the same thing. I just needed a little bit more resistance to dial it in to make the 150s work. So it's either dialed in perfect at the right number and then put those resistors in as replacements for all of them, or just slap a 1K potentiometer on the side, dial it in, and call it a day. So I ordered the 1K potentiometer. I'll build a little STL file for it, put it right on the side, should be good to go. So that side's looking up. So if you guys have been watching my other channel, you'll see the Bedini over there. You can see it behind me. I got the fan on it. It runs really well. I had a problem with the clacking on the magnets because they come loose. I fixed that. Let's see what else. I took out the shaft that was in there, those little weenie shafts they put in these wheels these days. I just threw that thing out, man. You should have seen it. I switched out my washing machine this week, and so I was sitting out there, and they became my table. So I started bashing these bearings out, man, just taking all the guts out of this thing. So I took everything out, made some STL files, put it in the wheel itself, and now it's tight in there. It works perfect. It looks good. You know, you can't ask for much more than that. I did put it through the bridge rectifier, though, and I'm pretty happy. It's coming out of steady voltage on the DC. So I may add a couple capacitors to it to make sure it's completely steady. And then I could basically hook my Tesla coil up to this thing and start it. It says DC, it says it's rectified, so it should work. Just hook up my Slayer exciter, it'll run at less than 12 volts. So, you know, we'll give it a shot. That'll be one of the tests I'm doing. But like I said, it's all on my other channel, guys. I've been putting out all my Bedini stuff there because we're about to go into gravity flyer mode on this channel. So Lightspeed's out there. It's going to hook us up here in the next couple of weeks, man, with all the stuff. And we're going to be putting all kinds of measurement equipment on that gravity flyer to find everything. So I'm pretty excited about that. I got a whole computer dedicated for it, man. Been ordering cards for it to get the USB slots in there. He's got all the stuff worked out. He created a program for it. Works perfect. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to really get it going here, man, hopefully soon. As soon as he has it here, you're going to see it constantly. We'll keep going with Project Rav on this channel. On the other channel, I'll do my Bedini. I'll do my pulse motor, which I'm excited about because now that I learned the pulse motor and what's going on in it, now we could get into what Papa Bale's doing and do reverse on it. So I had made a UFO type looking device a while back. And in the inside, it basically had a ring and had the magnets on it, right? Well, now that I understand what the pulse does and the reed switch and all that, now I could put it in there and make that a pulse, but now I can reverse it. So I can get some counter rotation going. And I got very small batteries. They're about this big, the RC batteries, with packs. So it'll be real lightweight on there. So that's a good thing. I mean, there are some things that are looking up, guys. Some old projects that I can reuse some parts on that, would work out. So it'd be a 12-inch wheel, not a like a 4-inch, a 6-inch wheel like I used on the Renegade. So that's good. So yeah, we're getting there. Have I looked into Reagan X? No, I haven't. I haven't looked into that at all. So yeah, I do have some wins, guys. Some of the losses suck. I'll be honest with you, but that it is what it is. The happy thing I have to say is the Bedini. I got it running again, and I got a battery to charge. So in all the messing around I've been doing and everything, and I haven't been running it consistently. This thing went from no voltage to 4 volts, and it holds at it now. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I got a battery for the charge battery that works, and I got one that doesn't work yet. So that's a good thing. Thing Highness worth looking into? Absolutely. We're one thing at a time, man. Got a bunch of stuff going, so we're gonna get there. I did order a new printer, just so you guys know. I had about enough, man. I had like 5 of them sitting around here, and I just sold them. And I ordered a new one, and it's the new Cobra X, so I can get the multicolors out of it, and I don't have to paint anything anymore. I can just put the colors in that I want. So I'm pretty excited. They start shipping tomorrow, so that's cool. That's gonna help me out in all these builds and stuff, save some time. So pretty excited about that one, man. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty much what's going on, man. What's going on with you guys? I see some of you out there building motors have been contacted me on the other channel, man, and giving me some advice and getting through this thing. I appreciate that, guys. I really do. Uh, if you're new and you're not 3D printing on a, yeah, well, I am 3D printing, that's for sure, man. That's how I build all this cool stuff. So I know we're all into it, but yeah, the new one looks nice, man. It's a self-leveling bed. I'm running CR10s right now, and if it gets me smoother on the self prints, that's what I want, because I wanted to give you different bases for my Tesla claw. So yeah, but yeah, that Bedini runs good, man. Here, you know what? I'll take a minute and fire it up for you guys right now. Let me take off my headset. Oh, that didn't go good. Okay. over here messing with it, man, and I knocked something off. Give me a second. I'll put it back on. All right, there we go. Yeah, you can see the lights are kind of popping on a little bit still. That's not good. The good thing is the fan's going on there. That shaft worked out perfect that I put on there. That's getting there. It's got about 10.2 volts going in on it right now on the exit of it. That camera's all messed up again. Anyway, it's going. It's starting to work itself out. That's dead now. I don't know what I did. Anyway. Oh, you can't see it? Well, we'll have to do something else, man. It's going. I've been working on it all day, man, and getting it up to speed and everything. I probably have another wire off of it right now. I put. Let me just tell you this. I'm messing with the trigger wire and I'm adding a resistor to it again and another one, and we're going 10 ohm at a time. Let me just tell you the pain in the butt that is. Being the fact that, you know what I mean? We could have just used a potentiometer and I just didn't have one. So I kind of tweaking it out, man, you know, one after the other and ruining how it looks. And it's really just aggravating at this point. So sorry you can't see it. Yeah, I can't zoom in anymore on this camera for what it's worth. So, what's up, Yanni? Yeah, I got your message, man. That 1K pot, exactly what I need. Oh man. Let's see, would a series capacitor make sense between the output boost diode and the load? The piezo, the one that Mike runs, would make a lot of sense. I could up the amount of energy coming out of it. That's for sure. That one's barium titanate, fast fill, fast dump. Make a lot more sense coming out of this thing than just running nothing. I'll be honest with you right there. That's one of the upgrades I'll do. And then also got to rectify it back twice and then shove it back into the input. I had 15 volts coming out of this thing before I started blowing up the resistors. So, you know, it's a give and take. Yeah. There's no resistor. Never fired a transistor in the Renegade because there's not one. There's a spark gap in it. Mike, love it. Oh man. Supposed to generate equal and opposite charge in the plate. IME opposite is true. Don Smith did some crazy stuff with yeah. Don Smith was running way too much energy. I'll tell you that right now. He had some radiation going on in his device. Oh man. Yeah. No. I got that Renegade working, man. I didn't touch it. I have other ones that I want to put together and run them in the same design, but I didn't want to touch the perfect version of it that I have. Next thing you know, I'll be pulling my hair out trying to figure out the wiring again. Yeah, that's no fun. I like to get a perfect model, put it to the side, and then build another one to just play with. So you watched all of his stuff and you still can't decide if it was fake? No, it's real. He just has a lot of radiation coming off his device. I don't think that he quite under understood that or didn't care. I don't know which either. But it was hot radiation, wasn't cold radiation, so he had some problems. So yeah, that couldn't have been fun. Yeah, oh yeah, it makes the problem worse. You don't want the hot radiation, man. You don't want to convert to that. The cold one is what you want. That's where your energy is. All of it's there. I mean, that's what these devices are. Um, cool. Oh, Blog Irish, man. What's up, man? Let's see, Blog Irish. Peter Lindemann said you must use large batteries to run the SG to see if its useful effect 7 amp hour. Not sure the ones you're using. Well, the ones I'm using are small amp hour. They're meant for a scooter, but they're okay to start it. You know what I mean, and get it going and do all the testing. Now I don't have a full battery to give this thing right now, but I do have those, and they have proven to work. I also have a motorcycle battery which I have to recharge and run on this thing. So we'll do that. And that one did fairly good the whole time. It's just I've been using these things without recharging them yet, and that's probably my fault. I'll throw that motorcycle one on the charger tonight and get it up and running again for the morning. Like I said, I've been running on my second channel with all this Bedini stuff over there. So if you guys want to check out the videos, I've had a couple problems with it already. Clacking magnets because they're not stuck down all the way. So I looked for my glue gun, can't find it, probably because I threw it out. Um, let's see what other trouble. I put the fan on. Oh my god, that bearing. Everything in there, got to get the right washers and everything, or else I'll start digging in the wood, cause a problem. So I fixed that. It needed STL files on that fan thing as well because they're never the right size of the shaft. So I had to make one of those and fix it and put it in there. Thankfully, it wasn't a hassle. It just took some time. Like I said, I gutted that wheel, man. I took all the garbage out of it and even the bearing, put in the solid shaft, locked it in there. And then the bearings are in the wood themselves. I pressed them in there. So that worked out perfect on that one. The coil seemed to work fine when I got it up there. So I didn't mess with the coil. I thought I was going to have to mess with the height and stuff of it. That seems to be good. Circuit, man, I've gone back and forth on that thing a billion times. And I think I'm pretty happy with it. It's just the resistance is wrong. So once I get it up to 12 volts, I'm slapping that Slayer Exciter tester coil on it, and I want to see it run it after I put it through the bridge rectifier. So, oh man, what's up, Lightspeed? Oh man, Dead Fish, what's up, brother? Let's see. How can something with no mass be affected by gravity like a photon going into a black hole? Why? Because you're dealing with the magnetodielectric effect, which means it has nothing to do with gravity. It has to do with the energy that's in gravity. That's why. That's why all light goes in there and it starts to break apart. And you only see it through those effects, by the way. You don't see light traveling through the solar system, just in the black hole, which means it's interacting with there and it's creating a charge state in basically amps is what it's doing, and then going in there. Just coding, working on the software. Right on, brother. Yeah, a lot of that stuff, by the way, when you get into the high end physics, all has to do with the effect of magnetism and the dielectric. Not a lot of people try to tell you that. I don't think they quite understand it, to be very honest with you. It comes up in the RAV all the time when we deal with it. So I don't want to go on a tangent about that, man. I'm working on motors today, trying to keep my head straight. Yeah, I got that Renegade up and working, man. That thing's nice, man. It just that clicking drive you nuts. I'm sitting there running that thing all day. Good thing I'm mostly deaf, but um, what does light energy become under that theory? Well, in a how do I say this? You think of light as light speed. That's incorrect. Light is only when you hit something and bring a charged state up in it. So a photon is basically hitting a particle and it brings a higher state of energy into the particle, and that gives you a photon. Okay. You think it's light speed, like there's light traveling through the universe, like we're on a rainbow bridge. And it's just not the case. Everything builds out in sheath layers and it keeps going out that way. So when you get anything that has a high energy state that basically hits a magnetic layer, it puts off light as a photon. So what you're actually seeing going around the black hole, all the light and stuff there, has to do with the structure of the black hole itself. It structures out so that it has sheath layers on the outside of it, and that contact in the sheath layer, when it creates the photon effect, is when you actually have the energy. You know, is light a wave, a particle, or a photon? Well, it's not all of those things. It's actually a ridiculous statement when you think about how it actually works. Energy goes, it gets to an excited state, okay, and then it creates light. So, what is light? Well, light's a creation of them, not is it one or the other? No, no, no. It's the creation of all of them. It's a pattern on how it's created. It's not not all three. You know what I mean? Not like they're saying it. If you got to say it right. The energy state comes out. It's in a spherical form from anything. It hits a particle. The particle gets excited to a higher energy state, emits a photon, which is light. There's nothing about that. You think about the matter. It's not the speed. It's transformed. The matter itself that's in a black hole. Well, it depends what you consider the black hole. The obvious answer is we don't know. That's the obvious answer because they haven't figured out. You know, plasma runs everything out there as well as they think they did, and they only have a best guess. They haven't created a black hole, so how would they know? You know, best guess is, you know what I mean? There's a lot of gravity, but that doesn't mean necessarily that there's some dwarf gravitational mass at the center. No, it could just mean it could be a conduit to something else where it blasts out the other side and we just don't see it and where it goes. They have no idea. That's probably the best way to say it. They have no clue. Nobody does. I mean, there's certain things we can all BS each other about and say we know something about. We don't hang around a black hole. We wouldn't know. Nobody would. You can only do it by based on experimentation and pull the answer from there. Math is not going to give you that answer at all because they don't know what's on the other side of it. So, anyway, yeah. Hopefully today's gets better, man. Let me just tell you, surgery on a camera sucks. So I had to go over there and take my screwdriver to my camera, and the metal bent in, so I had to bend it back out so that the lens comes back and forth. Yeah, $1,000 camera, and my stupid butt tripped over a wire. I won't be doing that again. So, God, so aggravating when that kind of stuff happens. I get so much stuff sitting around here, man. Looking for a diode that's sitting behind my desk, driving me nuts. Yeah, you just know what it does. Well, how the hell do they know what's in it? I mean, think to yourself, what do they know about it? Do they know anything? All they know is what it does. Just like the sun, all they know is what it does. They don't know what the hell it's doing or how it got there. They only know what it does. And then they go, oh, we saw one birth. And then they go, okay, well, now we understand, how it's made. But they didn't, they don't see a whole lot of black holes made. They saw two come together in convergence recently. So they were able to describe the effect of it. Outstanding. You know what I mean? Those kind of things are verifiable, but they don't know what's going on. Yeah, nobody knows, man. Let's not lie to each other over here. I see a lot of stuff, man, that goes on like that. People talk about all this physics and stuff and how it relates to other stuff, and they don't look at the mechanics of it and see how it works, and then it's all screwed up by the time they're done. That's why I like to work with it, man. I like to work with my hands and get stuff going, and do all this stuff over here. So that's why I built the Bedini, built the Renegade, we built the Tesla Coil so we can get to the bottom of it. So, oh man, 6 cents, yeah. I wish I had spider sense today. That would have helped. Yeah, I took some diodes out, man. Oh my god. This stuff, I reversed the diode because I'm thinking to myself, let's logically go through the system, right? It doesn't look right. Why is it getting power? Why is the trigger wire giving me power? And you know what I mean? All this stuff. And it was driving me nuts. So I put some diodes around, to switch them around. And the way this thing is configured, it takes about, 15, 20 minutes to change out 8 diodes. And it's because of the little bars and stuff. And I'm trying to make it accurate to Bedini. And I would have been better off just building a board, to be very honest with you, just so it's done. It was just a disaster. You got to bend things a certain way, get it in there, and then those wires coming down are an absolute nightmare. It would have been so much easier, man, to just go over and put a plug in. You know what I mean? Run all the wires, go to the transistors from the core itself, run it over, put it in a plug, and then I could change out the core anytime I want with just a simple plug. That would have been way easier, and I should have just done it. But I wanted to look accurate, so I didn't do it. Yeah, there's a failure on my part. Man, stupid stuff like that drives me nuts. I should just go ahead and do, because then, hey, pop out the core, put in a new one anytime I want to, anytime I want to test it, good to go. You know what I mean? So next time it's going to be a wiring harness with a clip. So you know what I mean? Dink, put it together, it's done, in there, good to go. Yeah. And then I've been building STL files to put on a second and third core to this thing. And everything is like way too big. So I'm going to have to cut some wood strips and put it in there so that I can, not print out a bunch of plastic for no reason. So that I'm going to do and set that one in there and run that. So we'll see how that goes. And then I 3D printed those cores, man, so they're way better. I did it for the Renegade, and I'm going to do it for the Bedini, where it's like 50% of it's plastic and then 50% of it's the rods, and it'll change it out. But the other cool thing is, man, now I could take some aluminum rods and put it in there, some titanium rods and put it in there. If I can find the bismuth rods to put them in there. With that core, I could do anything I want and just swap them in and out. So another thing I was looking at is if I get those little cubes that Amazon sells, the 10 millimeter cubes, can I put them in there and then drop them, a couple millimeters apart with some fluid in there and just do it like a battery? If you put in copper and say bismuth or aluminum, then bismuth, and then aluminum again, can I make a capacitor out of it inside the center of the coil itself and save myself time? So that kind of looking at stuff like that, that's the kind of stuff that gets you to the next level when you start changing stuff out like that. And like I said, man, those piezos on this Bedini would be just amazing. So you may be seeing that sitting on the side of that Bedini device, man, when I start running it again. Putting a couple of those out there. Your spidey senses get you with all the cameras out there. Nice. Oh, let's see. Just replace your refrigerator defroster and realize that the tube in it is quartz. Well, that's cool. It gives you some quartz stuff, man. You're gonna love that. Yeah, I like those quartz tubes, man, especially on those little devices that give you the static electricity. Those are awesome. Yeah, Sean was playing with those with the AC, man, and that was pretty cool. AC doesn't like me, guys. I'll have to be honest with you. DC likes me, not AC. AC, I usually break stuff. I'm usually burning something up, to be honest with you, in seconds. At least DC gives you a little bit of a chance to fix it. So, oh man, yeah, I had my wires reversed on the output of this Bedini going to the battery, so I had the negative and positive backwards. Oh, that was a disaster. Yeah, that wasn't fun. And then as soon as I fixed that, they went there with the resistors went up, started burning. I burned 2 sets of them. I put in the what was it 150s, and then they were burned up. And then I went ahead and put in the 100s. I don't know why it went down, but that's what they said. Well, yeah, that without potentiometer on the side going into them, that really sucks. So fix that. Put the on the side. I was running a bunch of resistors over there to do it. Yeah, I tell you, I rigged that thing up, man. However it took to get it to run. So at least I'm learning. I guess that's what it is. Good thing everything bad happened. You know what I mean? One after another. So at least now I know exactly what to look for when one part breaks. I know what it is. I know what I'm looking for. So I did get my other wheel gutted as well. So what you see behind me is the magnet spacing. It's basically every other rod that goes down, like every spokes, every other one of those spokes gets a magnet, right? So I wanted to change the spacing in the second wheel. So I got the second wheel, I got the magnets, and now I just got to get the accurate spacing on it. So I had to plug in the diameter of it and see exactly how far apart they go. But once that's done, man, it'll be good to go. And you know what I mean? I'll have a second wheel to test. I should get a little bit more energy out of it with the magnets a little bit closer, not tremendously a lot, but maybe 6 more magnets on there might do me some good. I did see your presentation the other day, by the way. It was good, man. Yeah, double talk for some reason. When I went back and watched it in the video, observing myself, double talk like it was messing up on the film or what? Yeah, brother. Every time I see one of you guys on there, man, I stop by and look at it. You know what I mean? See what's going on. And you're on Tesla Tech, man. It was good. It was good interview, man. Good stuff. So yeah, I try to pop in and say hi most of the time. So yeah, that's gonna be fun this year, man. I wanted to get all these devices done before Tesla Tech because you know what I mean. We're presenting over there, and I can't wait to to present the fields and stuff and how they work, and hopefully we have a bunch of data by then. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome. Issues walking with the camera or talking in the camera. Not talking to myself for the most part. Something to get used to. Oh, dude, let me tell you, that's got to be one of the funniest things ever, bro. When I'm on the camera, like I literally cuss myself out when I'm doing videos, and I don't put any of that out there for anybody to see because it's like you fumble on one word and you're trying to get through like a paragraph, a half of material, and you just can't remember one of the words, and it's like a transition word into the next segment. Oh man, it's a disaster. So yeah, and then I'll say the wrong word, I'll say a backwards word, I'll say something stupid, or my tone will be off. Oh, that learning curve, man, is so steep to do that. And I must have like 10 recordings of segment instead of just one. So I don't know if that's common or not, but man, it really drives you nuts, huh? And then I know keeping your eyes in the right place, making sure that the camera's running for a little bit before you talk, things like that. You're just not used to doing them. So yeah, it's a big learning curve for me as well. Yeah, and then never never try to present something while you have your camera on you like this. Such a disaster, dude. It always ends in disaster. Always. Nothing. I've never had good luck with it. Hey, let me show you something that's running. Nope, doesn't run. Let me show you something like this, and then the camera angle's all jacked up and wrong. Doesn't work. I mean, dude, it's such a disaster. I just gave up on it, man. I just said, "No, what? I'll just put it in the video, and then I'll show it, and that's good." Yeah, trust me. There's nothing natural about that, man. That's good editing. You should see we get stumped on the floor. I look like a drunk sailor in the half that I cut out, and the half that you see is logical and makes sense. And I don't try to cut my videos a whole lot if I'm doing a monologue, man. I try to run with it and get it done. And I don't try to cut that. I know sometimes I get like 2 words wrong on the entire thing, and I can go back and fix it. But that's such a hassle, man. So, and then YouTube likes to see you in front of the camera to make sure it's you, stuff like that. Yeah, that's always fun. Always fun. Yeah, I was actually filming this morning on the Bedini trying to get the resistor thing worked out and get that solved. Oh man. And I gotta replace this thing. This thing drives me nuts. I bong that stupid thing every time now. Hi everyone, always great ideas. Discussion on this channel. Burning in transistors is my special skills. Hey, you're not the only one, man. Question about the capacitor array, where swap different caps values. Uh, do the same for resistors. Basically, I don't want to say this. I learned a long time ago, man. A potentiometer is a resistor. So when you look at it, you have a certain amount of resistance. If you need a little bit more in there so you don't burn something up, just keep adding it by like 10K. You know what I mean? It's just 10 ohm resistor or 10 or 1K or 10K, depending on the project it is. If it's a real low value, it'll only be like a 10 ohm. If it's a real big value, then 1 to 10K is good. Or if you have a potentiometer you put in there, you could dial it, see where it is. Based on the number that's right there, you can calculate the total amount of the value in it divided by the number that's sitting there, and then you'll be able to pull your resistance amount out. Capacitors, not so much working the same way, but a little bit. If you're calculating for a tested coil, it becomes very accurate, and that's only in the version to flip them on and off in order to dial in the frequency. If frequency is not what you're looking for in a system, a basic set of uh, capacitors will get you most of the way there, and it just levels out the DC in the electricity. There'll be some noise in the circuit, but you'll still be able to make sure things run. You can probably get it fairly smooth. So, yeah, I mean, there's like a give and take to all this stuff. Some capacitors work better for the other things, you know what I mean? Aluminum capacitors generally work better for higher voltage. Um, if you want a core, go to a ferrite core, you know what I mean, for high voltage that's coming through it. One other one is there's a special type of an iron core that works extremely well for high voltage. It's just quite expensive, and they don't they don't have that thing in appliances or anything where you can get it cheap. You have to special order that stuff. Yeah, yeah, dialing in and fine tuning, man. Yeah, sometimes it sucks, man. It's a real miserable thing. It's like what you put out on the screen, you know what I mean, to show everybody is only like maybe what 5% of the work, and the rest of the time something's blowing up on you on fire, and you're fixing it, and you're going back and reworking a bunch of stuff, and then they get to see the final project. It kind of it is a little disingenuous, if you ask me. I mean, frying stuff's kind of part of the whole deal, isn't it? Like, because you know you're going to do it, and then they're probably going through the same pain you were, and that's why I kind of did some of the videos slower, so you do one thing at a time. I could tell you what I fried and what happened, and then what went out of whack after I fixed it. So it helped people get through some of the problems that they have on their systems. God knows nobody's perfect on this. So, the best we all can do to get it dialed in, to get to the fun stuff, you know what I mean? Testing cores, stuff like that, instead of playing with stir circuits all day, enough to drive you absolutely insane. Oh, let's see. There's one important video with data and pitching effect from Bedini. It's saved in the playlist, but how? Okay, was a real important one. Yeah, I have the whole series that he did on the, what I mean, what is it? The vacuum series, and then also regular videos that he did. There's a couple of them when he used the alum battery. That's a good one. And in order to see the circuit, that's how I got most of the circuit information there. Um, some of the downloaded stuff's good, but you got to watch out which circuit it is. You have to go back and verify. So just so you guys know, when I do circuits, I do the circuit I see. I go back and find any paperwork on the circuit. And if it's an individual transistor circuit, I always find a multi-transistor circuit in order to understand what's going on. Because in a lot of this stuff, you know what I mean? When they go from one to many, it changes where everything gets soldered and everything else. And then if they don't have it dialed in, or if you don't read everything on the page, you could really screw something up bad. For instance, when he says use a 100 ohm resistor, and then you go, okay, got a whole ohm resistor, but they're blowing up. Right. But then he also says in that same sentence, use a 1K pot to dial it in. So you take this 1K potentiometer and it's what dials it in, then it gives you the end value. The end value is never 100 ohms. Okay, let me just tell you that. The end value is much higher, but he wants you to see what the system's doing and how to play with it. Yeah, check mark, lesson learned, buddy. I got that one down. Yeah, should have read the rest of the paper properly. So you got me there, Mr. Bedini. So I went ahead and learned my learning and fixed all my mistakes. So I guess that's the way people like to teach. You know what I mean? I don't mind it. It taught me a lot. I've been over that circuit so many times now, I can probably build it in my sleep. So kind of like those Tesla coils, man. After a while, I just build whichever one I want. Know exactly where they go. What's the flow of the circuit? Why does it flow that way? You know what I mean? What can I do to change things? So you say it's on air con. It's an air con. I'll tell you, nothing that he did was a con. I'll be honest with you. Hey, nope, not what he's doing. Yeah, I do love the way Bladini explains things as well. Real down to earth. Nice that he's not using some gigantic words that nobody understands. I mean, who wants to deal with that? What, do I need a translator to figure out what you're doing? Just tell it to me straight. I like those people, man. I remember growing up, I had a buddy of mine, Loud Bill. Okay, and I was my girlfriend's dad back in the day, and you know what I mean. You go over to him, and he don't have any niceness or finesse about it. He's just old school, and he was always super loud. Ah, you gotta fix this. You screwed it up again. You know what I mean? I love those people because I don't have time to wait now. Now it's like, dude, just get to the point. Like, stop your pontificating and get to the point so that I can get this thing done. Okay. And those are the people I like to watch. You know what I mean? Hey, solder it here. Okay. Let me put on my little hat. Let me turn my little propeller. And then you tell me where to solder it, buddy, because that's where we need to go. Okay. I don't need to know the history of it. Just tell me where to solder it. So some of the people want to tell me history. I'm like, oh. I'm sure a lot of you are out there the same way. They're like, come on, Nathan, just get to the soldering. Shut up. Yeah. No, I get it. Not like I'm telling you a joke and making you laugh or nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So no, I love learning things from those people. It makes it a lot easier. I actually had to learn woodworking from my dad, and he was that way. Let me just tell you, cut to the chase, and you don't get it done right, man. Oh man, the things he'd tell you. Yeah, it was easy learning, I guess. Much easier than somebody that tries to tell you and drive you nuts with some kind of therapy session about why you got it wrong. Yeah. No, thank you. The history is interesting though. I'll tell you what, man. Some of this stuff you got to just realize what they are. I mean, just look at it. You see the Bedini device behind me, right? You realize there's one coil. I mean, for as much as you put in there, you're only getting the worth of one coil. Just for what it is, understand it. So as soon as he multiplied the coils, what did he do? Well, if he's getting close to equal out of one, and then he gets more out of each one after that, then guess what? He's got over the amount that he puts in. The only thing that gets people on this, and I got to tell you this, is the push, the pressure in the line. Not a lot of people realize this. Your battery is the pressure in the line. I've challenged people out there to tell me what it's for because I don't think they really know. The battery is the pressure in the line. So when you go to capacitors are great. They fill up, they have a lot of energy, they dump fast, they give you a quick pressure. That's not what you want. You want a consistent pressure, which means you want a battery. But how does a battery actually work? Well, it's the dielectric that's going through the battery that makes the magnetic field. The closer the plates are together, the higher the amount of magnetism that goes on inside of a battery. It's not necessary for the battery to actually be good. It just has to be able to take the dielectric and transfer it into magnetic energy so that it puts out amps. That's it. That's its job. It doesn't have to be a great battery. It just has to work. And if you put that in your system to loop it, you'd be perfectly fine. If you can explain that point, a lot of people out there can't explain it. So they just go, battery, look at how many lumens of light. Well, that's not telling anybody anything. If you want to loop something, the number one criteria to learn is, well, how do you do it? And it's based on how you built your capacitor, how close the plates are together. That's why if you notice Tesla's capacitors, they're like this. Why? Because he's using the battery effect. He's basically has two different types of material, and he's using the same type of material to make capacitor on both sides, but he's using the effect of a battery would have by stacking plates. That's what he's doing. That's why his capacitors look like that. So it's easy to figure out, change the distance in between them, put them closer together, and you get a higher amount of amperage, which means you're going to get more heat out of it because anytime you take a dielectric and compress it, you're going to get heat out of it, which means you're getting the amps out of it, which means you have a higher magnetic value. It's no different than taking an electret and spinning it. So as you spin an electret, a magnetic field appears. You're doing the same thing in a solid state in a battery. So once you understand that and why it works that way, then you know that that's the pressure in your line. That has to be in there. Now you can just disguise it, just do what Tesla did. Take them and build them like this. You know what I mean? That's not hard. Go get you a heat sink, take two of them, take some rag material, put it in between them, and you know what I mean. Put a nice electrolyte in that rag material. You slap them together, man. Make yourself a nice capacitor. Then you could do the same thing. Make sure the material's opposite. You get a battery, but you're going to get that high dielectric, which means you have pressure in your line. That's why you can run a system on dead batteries. It's just you have to have that pressure in the line in order for everything to keep going. The Rodin coil is one of the best examples of that. There's no pressure in that line. There's no core to that thing. It's weak. You could say, I got, 12 volts and 5 amps. Well, then you hook a load to it and it won't run. Why? Because it immediately eliminates your amps because there's no pressure in the line. That's why you need it. That's what it's doing there. So as long as you understand those facts, you know what you got to do. You know, that's why a lot of people tell you about the lumens. Well, yeah, a light bulb lights up real fast. You know what I mean? But a load doesn't. So if you understand the effect, you can understand how to tune your system. It's one of the reasons we're making the orange battery. You know, Bernie and I we're working on that one together. As soon as he gets back here, we'll show it. That's because we understood that there's a dielectric in between it, and then because when you do a potato and you just put a screw in both sides, right? That's your dielectric between it. Well, it's not very good. You know what I mean? You got a lot of junk material in between. You don't have any pressure in there. And we got the thing up to what 16 volts and 4 amps or 3 amps, something like that. But there was no pressure, so you couldn't use the energy coming out of it. And it wasn't going to charge capacitors that way with no pressure. So what do you have to do? You have to make individual plates and compress it. So yeah, we went through that, man, and learned that one. So that's how I know, you know what I mean, what we have to have in the system. And be honest with you, man, the materials matter when you get into the high end of batteries. When you get into the low end of batteries, not so much. Zinc and copper, good. Alternating all the way down. Make sure you have one connection on all the copper, one connection on all the zinc. One goes to your positive, one goes to the negative. You're good to go. You know what I mean? Simple as that. When you get into high end stuff, there's a lot more chemistry involved. You better study a lot because it's going to take you quite a bit of time to get there. Mike over at Faraday Research does that stuff, and I give him all the credit in the world, man. He's always got something new that he's working on that has a different value and there's a different reason why. And I think it's absolutely fascinating. So, simple switching MOSFETs I could do, but that's so far. Yeah. Well, I built a lot of stuff with one. I mean, all kinds of stuff, man. You can run a bunch of high voltage with that stuff. What I like is when you get into snubber circuits and redirect energy and put it through more capacitors and draw it back into the regular system. That's cool. Or you put it on a switch and then throw it to the number 2 coil. Excuse me. And then you just push the button and it gives you double the value coming out of it. That's awesome. So if you're running at 12 and you want to run it at 24, you know what I mean? And you need an extra boost. Yeah, you could do that and just add it right then and there by pushing a button and it'll just boom, immediately hit. I learned that one doing the gravity flyer, man. I needed more energy and I needed it to act like it was like it was resisting and then pushing. So a snubber circuit was perfect because it would push back on it as a resistance and then gain the value in the capacitor and then re-adding it that gave it that boom. And it just, man, that sucker would crack off. So yeah, that's the kind of circuitry I like, man. When you get in there and play with it. I took the energy from the center of my Tesla coil and ran 4 or 5 other Tesla coils from it. As long as it works, it works. I mean, look, I ran it right through the transistor too and made that sucker work just like a regular Tesla coil. And didn't use the proper energy everybody wants. You know what I mean? Is it over unity or not? I don't know. It's up to you to decide. I didn't really care. I just thought it was a cool experiment. I'll let other people define it. So that's what I like to do, man. I like it when things work out. You can see over my shoulder on that side, I have my little thruster, just like plasma channel. And I was working with that, man, with a bunch of high voltage when I first started and got that one to build and learn different aspects of it and which energies build and multiply for each other or add together, which ones don't. Worked with static electricity and also a dielectric. Static electricity is different than a dielectric because it's I want to say this. You have to rub things on it to make the static, so it's a charged state that you're adding to anything, where the dielectric has absolutely nothing like that. It runs through everything, and you don't have any static whatsoever in it. It's just a high dielectric value. Totally different. The ether is dielectric. It's not static. I think a lot of people miss that. Some of the stuff on the Tesla coil they call static isn't dielectric. It always has been. And it's like, where's the static in the room? You know what I mean? Is there any cleaning value to it? And you go, no. Well, then, you know what I mean? There's a difference. So I once talked with, who was it? The guy that's really good at Tesla coils, Master Evo, and had a conversation with him about it. And he calls it static. I just asked, where's the static value? You know what I mean? Where is it? Because it's not there. There's no static involved in that. So the cool thing is, man, is if you really understand the dielectric, as what I'm going to show at Tesla Tech, that you know, I don't want to say this. There's no static to it, but it definitely penetrates everything. And you know, I do the experiments and show you guys in the lab where you cut the orange in half and it starts it up on the other side. But that's dielectric field. It's like 0.0001% of magnetism in it. And that's what makes it so awesome. So anyway, that's what I was kind of hoping with these devices here with the Bedini and Renegade and stuff like that. As we get into testing them, we're going to learn a lot more about that and see which one it is, because I often wondered if the energy going down the center of my Tesla coil is equal to something coming out of one of these devices. So I wanted to know, and I wanted to see it for myself in order to decide, hey, is it right or is it wrong? You know what I mean? Are we getting equals out there, or we got two different energies going on? What is it? You know what I mean? What's the values? And it tells you a lot about converting and stuff like that, and frequency and how those things work. So yeah, kind of interested, man. Yeah, you know what? A spark gap in a bipolar Tesla coil, I found out, is way awesome. Uh, Out there, Dennis got a spark gap going on in his regular Tesla coil. Um, yeah, you hooked it up kind of like Joe, right? You got the number two side and the one down the center, and create a spark gap in between them. Yeah, absolutely. Those are cool. That's the same thing Joe did to do his RAV. He basically took what you did and he did the same thing. And the spark gap was actually the RAV in the system. So let's see, scalar, another word used, scale. I seen a guy out there, man. And I don't mean to make fun. I wish him the best. He was getting people to send in their picture, and he put it next to his testicle and say, you know, I'm going to affect your mood by giving you scalar energy. You know what I mean? It's going to be transmitted based on your picture on your testicle. Nah, look, if he would have said, hey, come in the room with me with the Tesla coil and I'm going to do this, then I'm on board. Okay. The picture, no. I mean, I projection, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. Okay. So I just didn't, not for me. I understand scalar what it is. And that picture by the Tesla coil didn't do it for me. Sorry, buddy. I loved his pitch. Guy sounded awesome. Love the way he talks about things. But then when he got to that, I'm like, I'm out. I gotta go. I owe you a sandwich or something, man. This is a bridge too far for me. So, but you know what I mean? If you're running stuff through your Tesla coil and stuff like that through something else and it's in the room, oh, dude, I'm right there with you. So yeah, right what CBK does. He builds those little mushroom things, I call them, and he gets all the electricity to go through them. So you're getting the energy in the room. You know what I mean? You're getting the value out of it. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I like. So, but the guy had a positive attitude. I'll give him that. I saw him on a couple of those things. We're looking up gems and stuff and how to do it. And there was a lady that says to hook it up to the number two of your Tesla coil. and put it in the water. And I'm going, oh, come on, lady. You can't do that directly like that. That's hot energy. That's bad. And they think it's because it structures water that it's okay, but not the side that you want. You want the side in the center so that you're deconstructing some of the water. So it's a misunderstanding, I guess. They're trying. Oh, yeah, information limited. Yeah, there's big gap on how to do stuff, man. So we got some of the people's work out there, and then some of it's gone. I don't know if you noticed that or not. A lot of people who used to do this stuff, their whole YouTube's gone. So we don't get a lot of that out there. Oh, what's up, Gigi? Number of your testicles. Who knew? Well, I got a lot of them. Yeah, that's for sure. Oh man, such a good time. Such a great night on Friday, man. I don't know if anybody caught it out there. We're on Traveling Fools channel, man. It was a good time, man. It was Fool's birthday, so yeah, we all had a good time over there and good laughs, man. It's always an exciting time, man. I get to be on leash, man. No more science for Nathan on Friday nights. I'll tell you that. Yeah, yeah. We all have a good time laughing and joking and doing stuff. Yeah, I see Yanni there, man. He's been there several times, man. Trivia, man. I was over there. I popped in last night. I passed out. I was like, dude, I'm so tired. So I usually try to play the trivia when I get over there. I couldn't do it yesterday. I was done, man. I was playing grandpa all weekend. So out there with my granddaughter, man. Once you do that, man, at my age, you're pretty much done. There's no running after a kid 24/7, man. I don't know how people have kids this late in age. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I could do it still if I had to. You know what I mean? If some situation came up. But as far as waiting there and then wanting to do it, a total different story. My kids are, God, they're 22, 23 is the youngest. Yeah, no thanks. It's like a whole lifetime ago. I remember those days when I had energy. You go to the park and you outrun your kids. Now I'm breathing heavy to catch up. Yeah. Oh man, that's funny. I love it though, man. I love being a granddad because the kids get to play and then they get to go home. I get to give them sugar, and their parents got to deal with them. Yeah. Thanks, mom and dad. They did the same thing. You gotta love that, man. Oh, anyway, yeah. Oh man, I got a whole bunch of stuff over here, man. It's like uh, I I got payday or something going on behind me over here on the side. So you see all those boxes right there? They're a bunch of cores. So you know what I mean? We're getting into winding a bunch of coils and stuff. So I bought a bunch of blank cores, bobbins. You know what I mean for everything, so that I can get everything done. So I've been going through them to see which one I wanted to wind next. The best thing is when Nathan, backstage where he cuts loose after listening. Oh my God, two guys bitching about sleeping and where they're going to sleep over. Oh my. Oh yeah, get me going for the day. I tell you what, man. When we're going on the show, I'm holding the line. Okay, I'm not going there. You know what I mean? I'm good. Whatever guests, whatever we're doing. You know what I mean? I'm there for you. You get me backstage, and I get to say my real opinion, man. And I'm not going to hold back. I just tell you what I think. But this went on for like weeks, man. Like we were on there, and it wasn't like once or twice. So we're over there, man. Oh, it's like sixth time I heard it, and I'm just dying inside. You know what I mean? Like part of my soul was leaving as I'm hearing this, and they're sword fighting over who gets the bedroom and where. And I'm thinking, are these guys dudes, man? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I thought we were all the same. We just, hey, grunt, house, good. You get it this weekend. Done. Okay. I'm thinking that's all the conversation I needed. Okay. No, it got into Oh, would you like to sleep over here? Oh, but I want to pay for my own way. And oh, I got to go over here. Oh, man. Let me just tell you, you listen to that for about 45 minutes while people are drinking. Yeah, let me tell you, you're going to lose your shit. So, I don't mind trolling back, man. I'll eat some potato chips when you can't stand the volume in your ears. Yeah, because I can't hear it. Yeah, it was the funniest thing ever, man. I'll tell you that right now. Oh, yeah. Well, we all have our fun, man. So, yeah, I like to cut loose and tell jokes, man, all day long. So, the cool thing is, man, is on that show, everybody's involved. Like everybody you see on the panel, man, we all get involved and shoot it back and forth to each other, and I think that's one of the rarest things you can find. So, I'll be honest with you, man. I'd retire every bit of everything that I build to go do that for a living and just have fun and cut loose. So, oh, you think this is funnier? Oh, then you've never seen that show, man. That show is something else. Funnest thing I ever do all week, man. Let's go over there and hang out and shoot the bull. So, oh, become a bunch of degenerates behind the scenes, man. All of us push it to the limit. So, no, it's all good, man. Yeah, but I like building things. You know what I mean? Creating things with your own hands. My wife looked at my Bedini right there, and she saw it in wood right before I painted it, and she was all pissed off that I painted it because it looked good. Back to the wooden craftsman days when I owned a cabinet shop, man, and yeah, I got outside and started sanding it, cleaning it. You know what I mean? Giving it the right edges, putting the roundness on it, stuff like that. Stuff I used to do all the time, and it looked perfect. And then she's like, "What the hell are you doing? You should have just stained it." I go, "Well, the original was black, you know what I mean? And it was a certain type of look to it, with brushed and stuff like that. So just trying to do what's on there." And she goes, "Well, the next one you better just stain it and clear it because that's kind of her thing." So hey, got a couple episodes, man. Oh, yeah, it's fun. It is fun. They they still got me with my. I don't know if you guys saw the episode, and I don't have the video to show you right now, but we were doing a live over there, and I was doing the water experiments with my testicle. I thought I'd have a little fun, so I got some honey. Was it not honeydew, but cantaloupe? I got some melons, man. I cut them in half, and I was showing the dielectrics between them. And I thought it'd be hilarious, man. So I cut a hole in each one of them and put little tassels in there, little blower things, you know what I mean, from the dollar store. Dude, I put them up and it was just hilarious to see, man. I had a fun time doing that, man. That was the best. And then don't ever say something wrong around your friends, man. They'll put it on film and give it back to you. So, but no, I love it, man. Just shows the love every time they show it. So it's funny. Right on, brother. Love it. Yeah. Gotta have some fun, man. God knows I deal with enough pain in my life that as I get older, gotta have a lot more fun. I when I used to have a lot of problems with gout, and I had surgery when I was in my 20s, and you get it from there, and it just crystallized in between your joints, right? Dude, that stuff is just horrifying. Now, what I mean, as I get older, my body can't get rid of the water or any kind of liquid, right? If I don't drink water 24/7, if I try to go to a soda or tea or something like that, it won't filter right, and my lymphatic system is just not clearing it out. So I get it stuck in my body. So I would probably be around 200 pounds right now if that wasn't the case. So it's just a medical condition that's going on, and it's driving me absolutely batty. And I'm trying to get with a doctor to get a hold on it, and I just can't. And what happens is I get what feels like arthritis or carpal tunnel in my hands and fingers and stuff, and it's just absolutely horrifying. My wrists are all messed up. You know what I mean? Anytime I go and drink a soda or something like that, it's all bad. You know what I mean? Knees get the same way. And then you have to go take a bunch of water pills. So I'm over there racing to the bathroom every few minutes to try to drain out my system. Oh, it's a horrifying way to live. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah. And you know what I mean? There's not really much they could do about it. I just got some stuff in to try to clear some of that stuff out. But I deal with that daily. So, you know what I mean? Sometimes, your ankle swells up and you can't walk for a week or two. Sometimes your knees lock up and you know what I mean? You're barely getting around. You got to get some crutches out. I got 3 canes that I use, you know what I mean, throughout some of the time. It goes into your back, man. I've had my back go out for like 3 weeks at a time where I do zero work. And it's gotten worse. So I've been at the doctor a lot trying to get it fixed, and I can't filter stuff. So I'm definitely afraid of drinking any alcohol right now. You know what I mean? Because if it's not draining out of my system, it's just going to be absolutely horrifying. And I don't know if it's kidney, liver, or if it's just not draining. And dude, I've tried everything in the world to get this stuff to fix, and you know what I mean, they haven't given me the right thing yet. And I've been going to the herbal market and stuff like that and getting things that they say it'll do a certain thing, give them 30 to 60 days in your system and see what happens. And generally something else goes wrong, kind of like building stuff. You know what I mean? Things go wrong. So, you know what I mean? It's absolutely horrifying to see me in the morning, man. I wake up and all this stuff's gone wrong. And you know what I mean? I'm just trying to have some coffee and wake up and get my body working again. You know what I mean? And then depending on that is what I do for the day. So luckily, man, you know, it's been fairly good recently. Yeah, I got out and go walking and stuff. And you know what I mean? I tried juicing for a while. That didn't go over so well. It's not that I can't go on a diet. I probably eat less than all of you out there. It's just my body keeps retaining it. I probably eat 1 plate of food a day. You know what I mean? Might snack a tiny little bit, but I don't have a whole lot of snacks out there, and I drink mostly water all day to try to keep it going. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. I mean, nobody wants to hear about my miserable life. That's why I like to cut loose and have fun, by the way. It's like I can't 1 day a week to be me. If that makes any sense to anyone, where I could just cut loose and nobody's offended that I, didn't say the right thing or something like that. So that it means the world to me to be able to do that. So yeah, I know that we've all been there and we have a bunch of recipes and stuff. I tried a lot of them, guys. I go out there and make fresh tea. I put barely any in there, and I don't think that it's even processing that properly. It's something's upside down or wrong, and I can't tell you what it's been 2 years at the doctor. My heart's fine. You know what I mean? No problems there. I come back, get all my checks. My liver's fine. My kidneys are fine. He says everything's good. You know what I mean? As far as the numbers goes, everything processing properly, but I still have the problem. So I don't know. Tried a lot of stuff. So yeah. Anyway, that's all right, man. That's why I don't drive long distances and I don't drive at night. You know what I mean? Get a bunch of problems. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's no chance of me doing that. If my wife doesn't drive out to Tesla Tech, I ain't going. You know what I mean? But she said she would, so we're good to go. But I don't drive past 30, 40 miles at any one time. So yeah, I didn't have the hose shoved up my butt this time, man, to be honest with you. Didn't get the prostate check. I had it checked a couple of years ago and it was fine. I haven't done it recently. Um, so you know what they say, when you hit a certain age, man, you got to go get a hose shoved up your ass. That's fun. Yeah. Go over there, give you some drink over there, shit like hell. You're sitting in your living room, man, dumping in a bucket. Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, the stuff these doctors tell you, man. Oh, you gotta do all this. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, let's just say there wasn't family around that weekend. Oh, It's not. It has nothing to do with the testing. I'll be honest with you. I Besides getting something working these days, you haven't seen a whole lot of videos from me on doing anything. So I've already ruled that out as far as what I'm doing with it. You know what I mean? I'm working at low energy stuff now. You know what I mean? Bedinis have spikes and stuff. Pulse motors have spikes, but they're not radiant energy out in the air like a Tesla coil would be. So, you know what I mean? I've run a whole lot of Tesla coils lately, unless I'm just starting it up to test the circuit. And then that's it. And then, you know what I mean? I've been doing low end energy lately. So, been good. I have crystallization that does go on in gout, and I've had that for a while. And it used to just be my big toe would lock up, and you know what I mean, hard to walk. And then you know you take some of the anti-inflammatories and it go down, but no, yeah, that's it's been worse lately. Like you know what I mean, like this, and you see my hand. It it's way bigger than it should be. My fingers shouldn't be this size. You know what I mean? They're not drained out. You can't see any skin coming off of them. They're too tight. And I know this because when as soon as I take the water pills, they drain out and they're proper and they work again. So yeah. Oh well. Yeah, I mean that's it is what it is. And you know, I live with it every day. So some days get bad, some days get better. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not you know, not gonna die tomorrow, so it's just gonna keep going on. So that's why I've been trying to do some more pre-recorded stuff on my channel. You know, when I feel good, I get out here and I do, you know, 5 or 6 different videos at a time, and then I'll put them out throughout the time. And then, you know, the rest of the time I'm trying to rest and get something to work again. So yeah, it's all good. So yeah, all those levels are good. So I haven't had a thing come back. I think the one thing, what was it? There was one thing that was spiked, and that was it. Um, God, what did he call that? It has to do with the gout. Whatever that word is that goes with the gout, the acid, the something acid in my body is through the roof. And I forget the name of it, but it's the acid that basically controls gout, and it's just out of control. And they gave me stuff for it, and then oh god, I almost died twice with that stuff. So I would take it in the morning, and it would basically reduce that amount, so it was good. So the stuff would flow a little more, and I wouldn't have so much stuff. Yeah, the uric acid. So basically, it put me to sleep though. So when it got with my blood pressure pill and went there, man, I was passing out. I couldn't drive more than 10 minutes without passing out. Yeah, that was pretty bad. So yeah, I have to go back again and get something else. So yeah, we'll see. You know what I mean? Some things have bad side effects or I can't take them. And I have to take the blood pressure pill, so I can't take the other one. I'd rather be in pain than be dead because my heart doesn't work. So you pick. You know what I mean? Yeah. So any kind of yeah, so sugars and stuff like that work against you and all that acids and stuff. So if anything, the Tesla coil should break down the crystal in my body, but it's not. There's just too much of it going on. Yeah, I get. Well, the water's fine. I don't. Well, I could get it tested. I guess. I don't think that's so much it. I don't know. I have a feeling I'll be on a special diet here soon. So anyway, yeah, I can't do all the things I used to do. It was funny because I mean I'd have some weight on me and I'd go, all right, let's go, you know, let's go scorched earth. So I would go out there and walk a mile a day, and then I would eat probably half a chicken breast, and then you know, maybe 4 or 5 sprouts or something like that, and that would be it for the day, man. And I could do that for months on end. You know what I mean? Just drink water. So have an Ethiopian diet, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, I could used to be able to do that stuff. Now I can't. My body will lock up. You know what I mean? So yeah. Sorry, guys. I can't put up a lot of the comments because it's all health related. So I am reading them. Yeah, well, there's some techniques to do and stuff like that in some of the stuff that I own. Let's just put it that way. That do certain beneficial things, but I can't talk about them on air. And they do work, but yeah, yeah. Well, something's not right in the diet. I'll tell you that right now. So yeah, I'll figure it out. You know what I mean? It gets to a point where you don't really want to do anything. I can't tell you how many times I woke up didn't want to do anything for the day. So, but that's why it's so hard, man. You know, everyone jokes that we're 39. I ain't 39. I tell you that right now, man. I'm going to hit the big 50, and it's going to come real soon. I don't feel healthy. I don't like it. That's funny. Can't talk about what he does is probe. I own a probe. Well, I shouldn't say that. I got an oscilloscope, but it ain't showing you that kind of probe. Oh, God, I love it, man. Yeah. Hey, look, we could disagree all day long, man, about stuff and how it works. I'm good with that. I am good with it, man. So, I always like to say that the winner is the experiment. Now, all, all of us talking ain't going to win. It's got to be the experiment that tells the answer. So, I think you're the same way, man. And no matter what we actually believe, that's going to be the answer. So, I'm good with it. You know what I mean? We all have our thoughts about it, and that's why we test everything. A temp reading old school? No, no, thank you. Ain't going there. Oh, yeah, no, 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 thank you. I don't need those kind of checkups. That's a doctor I would not be going back to. Yeah. No, thank you. Oh man, you imagine that your parents they used to, take those things, cram up your ass, and you don't even know if they got washed properly before the next person gets it put in their mouth. I mean, God, we hope so. That's terrible. I don't like to think about those kind of things anyway, man. I know this, man. Being a parent, you're not always awake half the time. You know what I mean? Even though you're conscious. So I can only imagine what my parents did, man. I got 5 boys and 1 little girl, and they must have been driven nuts. I mean, I can only imagine the stress we put upon them. I mean, we're always out there screwing around doing something. My sister messed with my brother. We got boxing gloves for my dad. He thought it was hilarious, right? So my brother, I didn't want to box because I was doing other things at that time, and so he asked my little sister to go over there and box with him. And first thing she does is like she got a jab put in her face, and she's like, "Oh, really?" And then she just popped him right in right in the boys, man. Just got him right in the nuts. And he was down crying in front of the coffee pot. And here comes my dad at 4 o'clock in the morning and going, "Just get the fuck out of the way. Just get out of the way of my coffee pot. I don't care what happened to you, man. It's first thing in the morning. Just get out of the way." Yeah, I never forgot that. I was laughing my ass off. Here's this guy, kid crying on the ground, just got punched in the nuts. And then, here's my dad. Didn't even care. It's just like, just get out of the way of my coffee pot. Like, you're not important right this second. And I guess only, after being a parent for a long time can you really understand that attitude. Not that he doesn't love you, just you're in the way of his coffee in the morning. So it's hilarious. Some of the stuff that we pulled off, man. I pissed my brother off one time, and I was riding away on my bicycle, and he thought he was Thor, so he took a hammer and threw it, and it wasn't a regular hammer, it was a sledgehammer, man. He threw this sucker, whoop, 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 whoop. You know what I mean? About 20 feet down the road, man, hit the back tire. You know what I mean? Damn near fell off the bike. Yeah. My brothers ain't small, man. They're big. So you don't mess with them. Yeah, I shot a blow dart at my arm one time and stuck right in my arm. Stayed in there for a little while. Yeah, it was a ruthless gang of kids out there, man. Oh, yeah. And imagine one of my brothers looks like Steve Austin, just freaking huge, man. So yeah, imagine going out with those kind of people as your brothers out there messing around. We used to have a side hack. I don't know if you guys ever had one of those. You take a bicycle and you weld on another half of a bicycle to it. Oh yeah, we screwed around on that thing. Jumps, funnest time ever, man. We took mattresses from the house. It's such terrible kids. We took mattresses from the house, put it out in the backyard, right at the edge of the roof, and we jumped off the roof. Like not just like jump a little off the roof. We jumped up and off the roof onto these things, man. All kinds of pillows and stuff from the couch and everything. Oh my god, yeah, dude, it's some wild times as a kid. My brother got buried in the backyard by the rest of my other brothers, and my dad, my dad goes out there. He goes, well, you got yourself into this mess. You better get yourself out. You know what I mean? So he's struggling over there in the dirt, buried. Oh, it's hilarious. Anyway, yeah, I'd rather talk about fun stuff, guys. Yeah, bike ramps are awesome, dude. We had a half pipe in the backyard, so we had a 6 footer that went and 90 to another 6 footer, and then we had a 12 footer on the other side. You know what I mean? Hooked to the 6 footer. So man, it was a wild time, man. There I had to learn how to ride a skateboard and then get on the 12 footer and get in there. Let me just tell you, there was a lot of hard times ahead. That wasn't easy. So my brothers though, they just hey, whew, right off the big one over and then jump the corner on the other one. Yeah, dude, that was awesome. You know what I mean? Out there on your skateboard, learning how to do it. Oh yeah, I ate that ramp so many times. I could, dude, you really, what I mean? If you didn't know what you were doing, it was harsh learning. Yeah, buddy got a splinter in his ass. Had to go home and get his mom to pull it out. Fucking hilarious, man. Oh, some of the things we do. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, dude, big time memories. Yeah, dirt bike. Oh, I've crashed a lot of those guys. Yeah. Sometimes a jump, you know what I mean? Hitting that thing. Like if you're doing not the whoopties, but the what are the tables or whatever they call them, the bigger ones, come up short on those things, man. Instead of hitting the downside, you're hitting the flat side. Yeah, those things suck. What do you got? Like a 6 foot peak you hit, and then it flattens, and then it goes down the other side. Well, if you don't hit it just right, you're going to take a lot of pressure on your body, man. As soon as you hit the flat part, boom, bottom out. Oh, I absolutely hated those things, man. It was like gun ho no matter what. Yeah, tabletop, man. Those things get you all the time. The good old days. I'm there with you guys, man. Used to get out on the boat. Oh, dude, such a bad boating adventure last time. The last time I took out the boat. Okay. So here we are on the lake and we get stuck. The engine won't start again. Let me tell you, getting to the shore, you know what I mean? You're not gonna the paddles ain't gonna do you no good. I literally tied the rope around me, swam the boat to the shore, then walked the shoreline in the water, got it over to the boat dock. There was a good 2 hours out of my day that I'll never get back. Yeah, that was fun. You got small kids in there, man. Nothing you could do. You just gotta, bear it and do it. So that was back when I was in shape. Get the swimming going, man. Yeah. We're out there boating, having a good time, you know what I mean? Playing in the water and got the big inner tube behind you and you know what I mean, racing around, kids are screwing around, falling off this thing. Yeah, it was cool, man. We would go to the river every year for about what is it, 4 or 5 years straight, man. Go over there, hang out, do some tubing. Yeah, it was fun, man. I had a lot of fun on those things when I was younger. So I love the little restaurants they have as you go down. I don't know if you guys have ever been there and you're in Laughlin and you're going down and you're on the Colorado River and they got the big valley there. And then they have the little places you can go and eat where your boat, dock your boat and eat. I think those are bitching, man. Those are awesome. Just going through the little valley over there, man. It was the coolest thing. You got the best scenery on the sides of you and everything, man. Then you find a little place on Lake Mead when you went out there. And then, you know what I mean? You'd find a little secluded cove or something and pull out the jet skis, man. I had a couple of sea-doos out there. That was fun, man. That was fun. Had a whole bunch of fun times out there on the water, man. So, yeah, rowing backs, dude. There was no rowing back at that point. Ain't nobody going to be on the other side rowing. I'd be just doing circles. You know what I mean? Rowing on one side. Yeah. Ain't nobody over there going to row on the other side. You just strap that rope to your man and go swimming. That's what you did. Pray no boat comes and hits you. Yeah, those are always fun. Messing with all that stuff. I had enough, man. I just got rid of them. I just said, you know what? I'm retired. I'm done. Time for them to go. Huh. I tell you about irony one time. I was drinking and I had my kid's bike and we all remember pushing on the pedal real hard to get it to go and you turn your bike back and forth on the sides to get you going real good. Well, let me just say when you're drinking, you ain't got too much of a perspective on it. So I hit my foot on that pedal, man, as hard as I could, and I went right over the handlebars, man. Just totally flipped, scraped up my whole arm and everything. My wife was laughing her ass off at me, right? So the next day she gets on the skateboard, and guess what? Got the exact same mark on her arm. I was dying laughing. There's some irony for you. Teach you to laugh at me. That was great. Like my kids never forget that shit, man. Oh, it's great. Oh, I'd get stuck in no lightning storm. I don't play that game. Oh, yeah. I tell you what, though, man, you do a lot. You don't realize how much stuff you do over your lifetime. Get a lot of that stuff in. Some of the stuff, man, you just go out there and balls to the wall and get it done. Kind of like going out there on a sand rail or something. Screw it. Just hit the gas. There's no brakes on that thing. You just go. That's the only way to do it. So, yeah, good times, man. Good times. Yeah, sorry for bringing some depressing guys and tell you about my personal stuff. Not something I like to talk about a whole lot, but it is what it is. Sailboats. I've never been on a sailboat. That'd be interesting. Always worry about the mast and stuff whacking me in the face or some other pole. Let's see. Yeah, stuck in a storm. Ooh, no, thank you. No Crocs for me. Oh yeah, parents never forgave. There's a lot of that going around here, right? Huh. Yeah, we're all surprised we're all here, man. Uh, we were kids. We took my dad's belt sander, and they were a little bit bigger back then. You got to ride on it. You just sit on the top, man, and push the button and go. You go out there, throw his saw blades out at the tree like they're ninja stars. Oh yeah. I once, God, what was I, about 7 or 8 years old? Took cardboard, strapped it onto my arms, and we found a 5 foot wall in the backyard. And I would try to jump off of it and try to fly. Oh yeah, that was an adventure. I'll tell you that. I always ended landing and eating crap, but yep, did that. And then I remember going to kindergarten, and a bunch of other kids thought the same thing. So we all went to the little hill in the back of the kindergarten yard and jumped off of it. None of us could fly, so we all ate a mouthful of dirt, but we still had fun doing it. Yeah, bad ideas all the time. Yeah, I'm there with you, man. I have a ton of bad ideas. Oh my God. To this day, I have bad ideas. You know what I mean? On things to do. I guess that's why I test everything and do everything I do here. That's why. Always doing something different than everybody else. Huh. Oh man. Fun times. Somebody's screwing around in the other room. You can hear him banging the wall. Oh well. Uh anyway. Yeah, dude. I've been working on that Bedini quite a bit. Yeah, trying to get that thing done. I thought I had it done several times, and then no, thought it was just replacing one part, and then every other thing went to crap. Yeah. Oh well. I fried my Renegade motor one day, the pulse motor, and it had nothing to do with how I was doing the circuit. I dropped a wire. It was connected to the battery still, and it just lit everything up. Yeah, there was a fry and find out moment. Learning DIY style, absolutely, absolutely, man, love it. Fry it and find out, right? See if it hooks to anything. You might get lucky every once in a while and have a box full of dead parts. That's what I have. Learned everything the hard way, apparently. So, well, some of the stuff, man, it ain't fun to go through. I mean, you got 4 or 5 different things you have to look at, schematics, and none of them seem to make sense. You know what I mean? Just none of this stuff ever looks right, and it's always upside down or turned sideways or something, and you're always trying to correct it, and always screwed up. Oh, I put that on a shirt. Oh, absolutely. I got to do that, man. I got to update that stuff. I got to get in there and do all that. So I tried to update some stuff recently, man, on some of the other stuff, and I'm just not very good at it. I'm good at making the video and stuff like that. That's about it. Bedini short too, maybe. Um, short shirt. Oh, there you go. Yeah, once I get it running and it's not frying on me, absolutely. Otherwise, the shirt's gonna have smoke on it. You know what I mean? Oh man, this thing's an adventure, bro. Such an adventure. Yeah, and I'm sure some of the spacing and stuff I could change on some of it. I always worry about is the coil far enough away or not, stuff like that. You think you got it mastered and turn around, man, don't. I should put everything I fry on there. I should just have the camera run and take a still shot of when I fry something. Yeah, that's old man builds, frying everything in sight. That's probably where my money goes. I, I don't learn my lesson usually. Takes the time or two. Yeah, I was pretty proud of myself. Can literally genius, man. Keep adding those resistors today to get that thing dialed in when it runs. So, what are you gonna do? It's your first one. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna have these flaws go on, and if you see me going through it, at least you know, hey, he's done it, so we can do it. You know what I mean? He's not holding back and telling us, giving us some nice little story at the end of the day where no one else can do it. Yeah. So anyway, that's always good. Mm. Oh man. I did actually quite enjoy building it, though. I'll tell you that. Getting over there working with some wood tools after a while, after I haven't been, that was fun, dude. That was actually a good day for me. So I actually, I don't know if you guys seen it a long time ago. I had my table saw in here with me, and I sold that, and I bought a little mini table saw, and it's cool, man. It works, but you can't have too much material there. I don't work for that. You know what I mean? It's little small projects it works for. And I'll tell you what, I can't just use a regular, handsaw to do some of this stuff. I like those edges perfect, man. I don't like things all jacked up and, weird saw marks everywhere. That doesn't work for me. So the one I got's pretty cool, man. It fits under the table over here. Works out. So let's see. With all those spinning magnets, maybe a bulb light up from your Tesla coil near it. No, not really. Not really. I've never had that happen. I wish it would happen, but I've never had it. I bet you I could run my Tesla coil off of both of these motors, though. That'd be pretty cool. So, like the Bedini, like I said, it rectifies to DC at 12 volts. So I'll run my Tesla coil right off of it. I bet you I'll show you a video in the next couple of days of that happening. Um, And then the other one, yeah, it'll rectify back as well to DC for the Renegade. So I'm gonna run my Tesla coil off that one. I just want to see things running, guys. I just want to see it work. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I want to do. Have a good day, Yanni, man. See you later on, man. Oh, you held on to all your saws and stuff from doing construction in case you need to cut some wood. Nice. Well, I did the same thing forever, man. My garage here used to have a white door, you know what I mean? Big air compressor, you know what I mean? Table saw. I had a huge table in here for it, an island in my garage and everything. And I thought to myself, you know what? It's time to leave the past behind, man. And it's time to move on. Now, my wife had some other opinions about that because she wanted her room done before that. So she made me go out there and I built a beautiful built-in dresser and stuff like that for her, and did the wainscoting around the entire house on the inside, and just a bunch of cool stuff, man. Where the house looks bitching. Then I got to retire all my stuff and get rid of it. So a lifetime of money spent, huh? So you can't complain, I guess. All those tools made you money over the years, and then you made a little money at the end getting rid of them. So that's not so bad. Yeah, yeah. I give away a lot of stuff too. I gave my son a bunch of stuff for car working on cars. Yeah, I gave him a bunch of that. Yeah, torque wrenches and stuff. When you get older, man, you go, oh, you got a torque wrench. That's great, right? Well, no, I got 4 or 5 of them. You know what I mean? Jack stands, all that kind of fun stuff. You know, I must have, I don't know, about 5 or 6 socket sets sitting in my toolbox on the side of me here. You know what I mean? Just various years. You like to collect the stuff, you get it for Christmas, stuff like that. I got some cool precision stuff, man, that I don't think I'll ever get rid of until the day I die. And then God knows what they'll do with it. You know what I mean? So a whole bunch of, you get little tiny files, little precision, drills, stuff like that. Sanders that they don't have everywhere. You got a special catalog order them, stuff like that. Got a lot of that, a lot of stencil work, stuff like that for different various things. So yeah, got a lot of that stuff, man. I got rid of. Things you buy, like you buy a drill to do a fence with that has the all the screws in it and they go up in there. I still got that, man. I've never used it since I put up the fence. That's funny. I guess it's the way to do it. You know what I mean? Back in the day, you buy 4 or 5 extra, you got like two shelves or 3 shelves in your toolbox of just extra parts. Huh. I played carpenter style like I'm all in. No, I haven't done that. Huh. That's cool. Oh man. Yeah, I kind of miss that stuff, man. Get sawdust in your nose all day. Never wear safety glasses. Sorry, guys. Never could, because as soon as you get on table saw, if you can't see the saw blade, you're done for. I don't run guards on it, anything, man. So if you move a little bit over, you're cutting off your thumb, you're cutting off your finger, or something else. You can't afford to have foggy glasses when you're doing that kind of stuff. You just have to put a reverse suction underneath it in order to pull the crap out of there so you don't hit you. So I think it's great when people can use it, but I couldn't. Yeah. Heck, I couldn't hear anything going over the AC/DC or Metallica in the shop anyway. Yeah, how it is, man. You get going, get rumbling, get stuff going. All you hear all day is a bunch of sanders and saws. Yeah, those days sucked. The funnest times because you got to build stuff. The worst times for your ears. A lot of that stuff go on, man. Anyway, yeah, kind of calmed down with life, man. Got a nice cleaned up studio in here and, you know what I mean, fixed everything. So I don't have to do all that stuff no more. Most things I do now is play with the filament in my printer and then go over and use a soldering iron 500,000 times to get this stupid thing working. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here today. Sorry for the boring show and stuff. Hopefully, y'all had some fun, good times remembered. So, I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good night, and then I'll see you guys on Friday when Joe and I pick up things and do some stuff. And then Faraday Research Channel, and then also Traveling Fools on Friday night. So, anyway, I'll see you guys then, man. Have a great one.
The old man real. The old man real. The old man real. The old man builds. The old man builds is broken in the head. People not seeing reality has put them in the red. Where conscious and spirituality restricted from the norm and replaced with the ignorance of basic magnetic form. The geometry of God keeps running through his head. That's what makes old man builds broken in the head. The old man builds. The old man builds. Spheres of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to instead. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. The old man builds. Fears of destiny are spinning in his mind, making him travel back and forth in time, battling the establishment for just a little recognition. Has him forcing the world to understand his premonition. That world will have all the technology in the end, even if it means his life will fail to extend. The old man builds.